Hey eBay sellers, welcome back to another video. This is a fun item to look for when you are outsourcing the bags, boxes, containers of hotel toiletries and sample size items. And recently it's been in the news that hotels are going to stop making these because it's such a huge use of plastic and causes all of the plastic trash that doesn't get recycled, and it's an environmental issue. So hotels are moving towards the large containers of bath and beauty products in the dispensers in the hotels. So this may become a thing of the past and become collectible at some point, but for now there are very specific uses for these sample trial hotel size toiletries that you may not be aware of. It is out there and you can resell it, and a lot of people don't even realize it's worth their time. So, first of all, let's talk about why people buy this stuff. I've heard all kind of reasons. Mission trips, they take it to wherever they're going on their mission trip to hand out to the people. Care packages for military, it gets shipped to military stationed in all kinds of places where they might not have access to health and beauty products, and it's very small and easy to store, and they just like the better stuff. That could be a really nice thing for somebody who is, I don't know, stationed in the desert, and all they have is crappy military soap, and then they get this nice box of soap that really smells good, and it's kind of a little treat. Also, care packages for jail or prisons. I've heard that one. Or people who live in or travel often in RVs. Just it doesn't take up as much space, and again, you can have the higher end brands without having a full size container. Or just traveling in general, whether you're going to a hotel or Airbnb or wherever and you just want to bring your own stuff. Some people just prefer smaller amounts. They want the high end brands without having to buy a full size container of, say, designer shampoo or conditioner that costs $30 a bottle. They don't want to spend that much money up front. They just want enough. And as a single person living alone, I get that because it takes me a long time to go through a full size bottle of anything anymore now that I don't have my kids living with me. So I can see why this is attractive to some people. Now, before you list this stuff, you want to think through how you're going to ship it. And I've been experimenting with this niche. I haven't made a bunch of money, but I'm learning about it. So this is something I never really looked at before until I saw people posting this on my Money Making Mondays. But you can create the listing based on what the amount of stuff will fit in. So just get some flat rate boxes from the post office and have them on hand, one of each size, so you can figure that out before you list it, because this is heavy and flat rate is really the best way to go on this stuff, because you can get a lot in those in the medium flat rate box, or even a flat rate envelope. You can ship these little containers of shampoo and conditioner. That can go priority. That's not a problem. If it's a liquid, it can go priority. It's just if it's hazmat, and nothing in these hotel lots would be hazmat. It's not fragrances, it's not a flammable substance, so you're okay there. You might also want to consider sorting this out and listing the same brands together as a lot. So maybe somebody only wants Neutrogena, or they only want Paul Mitchell. And these hotels, the higher end ones anyway, have partnered with these companies and have contracts with whoever is supplying their toiletries. So, a lot of it's now the higher end stuff and expensive brands that people might not buy in the full size. So they may just be looking for Neutrogena or some of the salon brands that they can buy this way. And then the other side of that is the people who are traveling all the time for business and they're constantly staying in these hotels. They come home with extra, and then they've got the extras and they donate it or put it in their garage sale, not realizing there's a market for this stuff. And on that note, my ex father-in-law worked for Norfolk Southern Railroad his entire career, like, I don't know, 40 years. And he would always bring soaps home. And it was amazing to me when I first started dating my ex husband. I would go to their house, and they had just bags, garbage bags full of hotel soaps and shampoos because he would always get extra and they never had to buy any. They just used that supply. So I always think about that, and they're in their 80s now and they still have all that stuff in their house. They have an accumulation they'll never use. And how many more people are like that have this stuff accumulating because they traveled with their job their entire life. And working for the railroad wasn't a glamorous thing. Their hotel soaps came from Red Roof Inn and Holiday Inn and those kind of places. But you've got all kinds out there. So just be aware that even though you may not have traveled with your job, that a lot of people have for even decades, and they've accumulated a lot of this stuff. And then here we are again, it comes time to downsize or move, or it's an estate sale, and you've got all this stuff out there. So you may want to, if you want to explore this niche, kind of accumulate a few different lots of these. I see them at the thrift store in big plastic bags, and it's like $3 for a bag full of 50 things. And you may want to accumulate a few and then kind of sort through them and see what you can batch up together if you want to do that, if you want to spend the time doing it. It's a great job for kids or grandkids to sort all this stuff out. But and pull out the higher end stuff and then put that in a lot on its own, because you'll make a little bit more money, as we'll see when we look at the completed listings. So don't feel like you buy a lot, you have to list it immediately right then. You may want to just put that aside and see what else shows up, and then create your lots based on the brands you want to put in there. So here's one of my listings that sold. This lot cost me about $3, and it had some what I call designer brands in there. Paul Mitchell was one of them, but it wasn't really enough to sell those items on their own. So I just put it all together with just all kinds of stuff in there. And I took an offer of $20. So, hey, that was fine. That was a fun little flip. And it went to Alaska. And I was just curious why the lady bought it. It was the medium flat rate box, so it was $12 to ship it. So, she paid the shipping because I always do, buy or pay shipping. So I asked her if she wouldn't mind sharing why she bought these. And honestly, I'd never thought to sell these until recently and realized there's a demand for them. And the last order I shipped went to somebody who made care packages for military. So she replied with that she was going to her country, the Philippines, for a ministry mission. One of them is prison system, where the conditions are very bad. I'm bringing all these toiletries because it is what they really need. This is the reason that I ordered these toiletries for the prisoners back home. So that was quite enlightening. You can see there it's a newer newer buyer, only for feedback. She paid, it was fine, and that was some good information. Understanding what where this is going, who's the end user going to be. Okay, here we are on Terapeak, and I went back 365 days, so you can see the wide variety of items listed over the last year. And keep in mind, this is best case scenario, so I've started with the most expensive at the top, and we're going to go in descending order. I did a search for travel toiletries lot. So you can go check this out on Terapeak yourself if you want to look further. And remember, All sellers have access to Terapeak. It's not just store owners. That changed in April of 2021. So if you're thinking you have to have a store to use this, you do not. So let's look at that first listing, 300 items. That's a lot of items of Balmain Paris travel body lotion. That's just the lotion, sold for $189.95, and that seller offered free shipping. So remember, if you're somebody that has collected these over years and you have a big stockpile, 300 isn't really that much. And you might see something like this at an estate sale or a garage sale. The next one only has 22 pieces, but it's a higher end and possibly discontinued brand. That one sold for $150. And then we move on down the list to Win Encore Vegas Desert Bamboo Lemongrass Citrus. So that's a higher end brand. 31 items sold for $149.95. The next one is a mixed lot, 160 items with brands including Aveda, Paul Mitchell, and it's all different items, lotions, soaps, shampoos. 160 items sold for $118.88. And I bet some of you are going to just pause this video and run to your your bathroom or your linen closet because you already have some of this in your house, and that's great. That's why I do these videos, is because you might not know what's in your house that has value. Moving down the list, the next item is 213 items. This looks like a mixed lot, $99, and they did not do free shipping. The next one down is 179 items. It's a mixed lot, went for $88 with free shipping. And then we have a larger lot, 385 pieces, that went for $69.95 with $44 shipping. And that one was on auction. And then the next one is Paul Mitchell, had a lot of 67 items. That one went for $65. And then moving down the list, Asprey Purple. That is a brand I have found, and I did a lot kind of like this. I think it only had 20 items in it, but that sold pretty quickly. This lot has 28 pieces, sold for $60 with free shipping. So you could see on down the line there's just all kinds of configurations for these lots of toiletries. So if this is something that you have accumulated over the years, you definitely might want to take some time to look through what you have and make up some different lots. And it's going to be trial and error. If you don't want to take the time to make lots by brand, just do what some of these people did and just put it all together in one gigantic lot. I don't recommend doing free shipping. I recommend calculated shipping, or if it fits in a flat rate box. So anyway, this is not a super high end thing to resell. It's just one of those kind of bread and butter items that you could throw in your cart if you see it. And you know what? You can always use the stuff. So you're not wasting your money on something that is going to not be used. I pick out stuff for myself. There was some like really nice Mary Kay night cream in one of these lots I bought, and I'm like, I'm keeping that because that's expensive. I want to keep that for myself. So keep your eyes out for bags or boxes of these sample size, trial size items, because they're a fun flip and you're doing the environment a favor by these not just going in the trash, and somebody out there will use them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.